Welcome into Kitchen Talk Pickleball Edition. I'm your host, Caitlin Miller. And this week joining us is Sam Goodwin. He's the co-founder of MyPadL. Sam, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, thank you for having me on, Kayla. I really appreciate it.
So we were just chatting, when you go to open play or playing at courts, a lot of people have the same brands, the same paddles, and they're all getting confused. Who's this paddle? Who's that? Well, Sam has kind of come up with the answer to that with a personalized bands for your paddles. So tell me a little bit about this concept and how you got started with it.
Yeah, so I started actually playing pickleball about 8 years ago, and a person I met the first week I started playing as well. So we were both new to the sport, and we became friends. And then we worked together in separate businesses. And about 4 years ago, he came up to me and he said, "Hey, Sam, I got an idea for pickleball." And we both love the sport. He plays it quite a bit, a lot more than I do. But he said, "Hey, I have this idea. When we're at open play and you're sitting talking to somebody waiting for the next court to open up and somebody pulls out, who's paddle, who's paddle, who's paddle, who's paddle, who's paddle, hey, listen up." He goes, "Why can't we just put their name or like a bright color retainer band there?" And I thought about it for a second. I said, "That's a great idea. How do you do that?" He goes, "I don't know. That's why I came to you." And I said, "Well, I've never manufactured anything, but I'd love to investigate it." So after about 6 months of research and development and trying to figure out how to do it, we came up with a plan on how do we initially do this. And so we've been off and running for the last 3 years.
Wow. So you were in it. I mean, you were at least playing the sport before most of us even knew it
Yeah,
existed.
I was the youngster when I would come to the courts. "Oh, hey, Sam, how old are you? 39? Oh my gosh, man, you're the young kid around here." Now it's completely changed. I'm the old guy.
There's so many young people, and it just continues to get younger and younger. Because I had a similar situation. I was in Naples, Florida. This was like when I was in a high school, so like years ago, and I showed up and it was just like 80-year-olds playing. I'm like, "What is that sport?" But I had no interest. And then now I'm like addicted. So it's just funny to see how that evolved.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the story. Every time I ask somebody, they just started playing, I said, "Are you addicted yet?" And they're like, "Yes, I am."
So that's awesome. So you and your co-founder came up with this idea. So yeah, how did you figure out kind of how to create these bands?
Yeah, so it was initially we were trying to figure out, okay, how would you do this? And I knew a little bit about lasers and whatnot, and so I was doing a lot of investigative work on YouTube and Google research, and I found that you could laser engrave silicone. But then that came up with another problem. Well, nothing attaches to silicone, so we had to find a special paint, and we found a special paint that does adhere to silicone. And so putting all these pieces together, but then when we did our first one, it was like, "Oh man, we got it." Unfortunately, it took us like a half an hour to do it, just
Oh no.
one. And so like, okay, how do we do this to scale? And that was a whole other process. So over the last 3 years, we've really been improving the process and getting it to where we can scale and do thousands if need be on a daily basis. But we still hand paint every single one of them, which some people find a little crazy when we tell them that.
Wow. So you can get any name, any color, right?
Yeah, so we have 15 colors. We have 6 custom fonts and countless or endless emojis, as I like to say it, because people will put their favorite emoji or emojis on one side or both sides of the bands. As a matter of fact, I was telling somebody about a story when I went to the court. I saw somebody with the bands on their paddle and it had the French fry emoji on the back. And I was like, well, I think I remember painting that one. It was so unique. And I found the person that was playing with it. "Oh yeah, I love French fries. It was a gift from my sister. She got it for me. She knows I love French fries, so she put that on there with my name on the other side." It was just a funny little tidbit of information. I was like, "Yeah, I painted that one." And "Oh my gosh, no way, you own the company?" So yeah, I'm co-founder. And it's funny how you run into people on the court that have your product on their paddle and they hear the story of how they got it or how they made it.
I'm sure that's so rewarding. And I feel like the pickleball world gets pretty small pretty quickly, but that's so nice to see something, that's special to you and someone else enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly. To be able to come up with an idea and execute on it where other people are like, oh, wow, that's such a great idea. I love it. And it's super easy to do on the website or on your phone. It's definitely rewarding to think, wow, it created something that sounds simple, but in executing it or manufacturing it, it's not as simple, but we figured it out and we're doing pretty well. We're a lot of happy customers, a lot of happy paddles.
Awesome. And Sam, where are you based out of?
So I just recently relocated to Gilbert, Arizona. I'm originally
Okay.
from Arizona, but for the last 15 years, I lived in Southern California in San Diego, Oceanside.
Oh,
So,
beautiful. I'm sure
yeah.
there's, well, both places, I'm sure you have a big pickleball community.
Oh, yeah. So another quick story when I first started playing, as you know, pickleball is very social. And we like to talk
Yes.
to people and meet people. Oh, where are you from? And where are you originally from? And I mentioned to somebody, oh, I'm originally from Casa Grande, Arizona. And this person's eyes got really big. And I said, the national championships were there 10 or 2 years ago. And this was 8 years ago. So 10 years ago. I said, what? Really? My hometown? I didn't know this. I just started playing the sport. And it's interesting how things kind of come together. But yeah, they 10 years ago, the USA Pickleball, I believe, used to have the nationals there in Casa Grande, Arizona, Palm Creek RV Resort, like
Wow.
36 courts and stuff. So
Wow. What a small world. That's crazy.
yeah, so I just recently moved back a few months ago, and Richard's still in Southern California. He's handling all the manufacturing process for us right now.
Okay. And so you're selling these all over the country, the world, or
Yeah,
what's the, yeah,
all over the world right now. We are on Amazon and Etsy, but obviously we're on our website, which is mypaddle.com, and we sell them predominantly in North America, USA, and Canada, but we sell them in Singapore, Australia, um, Europe, all over Europe. Uh, there's a lot of places that we haven't sold to yet, but pickleball is a really growing sport, especially here in the U.S. Obviously,
yeah.
and so one of our things was let's really kind of focus on the U.S. market. That's where we're strong at, and but yeah, it's just amazing. And the amazing thing, to switch gears a little bit, is the customization, the creativity that people come up with on what they put on their bands is amazing.
Yeah, wait, I saw you had your paddle next to you. Show us. I want to see this.
Yeah, so this one right here is Bear Down Wildcats, and that's the kind of the battle cry for the Arizona Wildcats,
Love
my
it.
alma mater. And then, but people will put, my daughter put her first name and then her last name plus an emoji.
Oh, I
Um,
love that. That's so
yeah, and
cute.
like I said, 6 custom fonts, 15 different colored bands. It's really possibilities endless. A lot of people, I'd say maybe 10 to 15% of our customers put their phone number on the other side because sometimes people will leave their paddle behind. They'll forget, I got to go. And somebody will call them up and say, hey, Joan or, Steve, you left your paddle at the court. Oh, I'm going to turn around right now and go get it. Especially if it's one of those expensive $200 or $300 paddles.
Yes. I swear it's like the simple little things that people can invent. Like my uncle, I don't know if you know Boost Oxygen, it's canned
Yeah,
oxygen. It's like, who would have ever thought of that? But he was genius and he's crushing it. And it's
no
like with
way.
you, with these bands, it's like that's such a small part of the paddle, but yet so important, to make sure people pay a lot of money for these paddles, especially now. It's getting outrageous. So it's just awesome to see like what people see and like how they can create something from that.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you think about the retainer band, it's really designed just to keep the grip tape there, right?
Right.
But why can't you put a name on it? Well, you can, but it took a lot of research to figure out how to do it again at scale. I mean, it's easy to do one, but it takes, an hour to do it or half hour to do it. But to do it at scale, and then it's in a universal area because sometimes people say, well, I can just write on my paddle. Well, I don't know. It's a pretty expensive paddle. My handwriting sucks. So I don't want to write on it. And if I do
No.
write on it, does the person picking it up know where to look to try to find my bad handwriting where I still write like I'm in the third grade? And so it's in a universal area and it doesn't negatively impact the paddle performance. I mean, on the rare occasion, somebody will say, oh, I add too much weight to my paddle. If you can tell the 2.5 grams versus 3.5 grams, God bless you. But
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
the balance is okay. That's fine. I understand. I'm not going to dispute that if those grams make a difference to you. But again, it's just a fun way to personalize your paddle, or even people that aren't too concerned about losing it or trying to identify it in the stack. Just if you want to add a little personality. We all love the sport, and it's a great way just to add your personality, your style to your paddle.
Well, I was gonna say too, some, especially as beginners, the paddles are so like good looking, there's so much to them. And so it's nice, like, for people who just play once a month or whatever, they don't care, and
Right.
so
Yeah.
it's nice to add like a touch like this that, makes the paddle look better. And it also makes sense, like it's sensible too to have your phone number or your name so people can look out for it.
Yeah, there's even certain clubs. We've been working with certain clubs where they'll use it as a kind of a membership benefit. So if you're part of a pickleball club and they have certain dues that are due every year, and that's for you to be part of the club. Some of the clubs will say, hey, if you renew early, you'll get one of these customized bands. And so what we do with them is we put their club logo on one side and the customer's name on the other side. And that's a great way for the club to retain membership or get people to renew early. And also it's great branding for them. And we've done that for pickleball tournaments, pickleball leagues, anybody that's really, even pickleball travel companies where, you think about it, you got to play with your paddle if you're going to play pickleball. And it's great
Right.
to have this little conversational piece right here. Like, oh, hey, where did you get that? Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I got it from, I was in part of this travel club, or I went to this tournament and I got this. Oh, wow, that's cool. So it's nice to be able to help out those other communities and organizations. And that leads me to my next thing is right now we give out, the product when you buy four or more, it's only $6 for one of these, and no two
Okay.
need to be alike. So we offer 50% off when you buy four or more. So it's only $6. So it's not a lot of money. We're not selling $200 paddles or $150 paddles. We're selling a $6 silicone band customized with your customization and personalization. So what we try to find is unique ways to give back to the community. And one of the things that we came up with was we noticed that a lot of courts that you go to don't have the paddle rack. And so each month we give away a paddle rack to an organization or a club, typically a public court that is in need of a paddle rack. And that's one of the things that we do each month is we do a give back to the community. So we have people go online, submit their club or their organization, and then we're
Yeah.
trying to go through it and see who, probably needs the paddle rack the most for that month. And it's something that we do as a give back to our community, to the pickleball community.
I love that. And that's what's so nice about this sport. I feel like people are so selfless and there's always like, a story behind why people started playing and it's pretty powerful. And so it's nice to see people want to, give that back and give people an opportunity to also play and kind of share that passion for it.
Yeah, no, it's been great. And the people that you meet, it's surprising when we wear our shirts around that say MyPadL. Oh, you're the MyPadL guys. Yeah. Yes, we are. It's a smaller world than we thought. There's 30 million active pickleball players in the US, and it's amazing how many people actually know your brand or know about your business.
And also with expanding your brand, you said, I mean, obviously you're wearing a hat, you have some other merchandise that you're selling. Talk to me a little bit about what else you sell besides the bands.
Yeah, so our primary business is obviously the customized bands, but we do sell hats, custom with the MyPaddle brand logo. Also hoodies, shirts, all over print shirts, and we try to just kind of have this clean, crisp retro style, if you will. And then in the future, our plan is in 2025 to have some additional items related to the pickleball field, especially for customization and personalization. But yeah, we sell all kinds of merch. And again, any of those items you buy four or more, it's 50% off. And so that's the unique thing about our business, I think, is a lot of people, because pickleball is so social. I mean, Kaylin, how did who invited you to play pickleball, or how did you hear about pickleball? when you first started?
So right now I'm in Nashville, but at the time I was in North Carolina during COVID and we were bored, and so a group of my friends, there was like 10 of us, would go out to these courts like once a week and just play, to get outside, to be around one another. It wasn't until Nashville though that I really started to play like 4 to 5 times a week and
Mhm.
compete and like all that stuff. But yeah, it was interesting. Like I liked it. I wouldn't say I even like loved it at first, but then when I started playing like religiously here in Nashville, it's like I'm so addicted to it and I love it. So yeah, that's kind of how I
And
got
isn't that
started.
funny how that works out? You start playing and you're like, okay, it's just a nice way, but your friends invited you. Somebody that you knew
Right.
said, hey, come on in and let's play and let's just have some fun. And then you make a move and you're like, okay, oh yeah, I played this pickleball before, and you get into it. And it's so funny that there's such a social aspect. I tell people that pickleball is the easiest game or easiest sport to get into because you have the ability to socialize, compete.
Yeah.
It's a workout, and you're not sprinting, 100-yard dashes. That's why I love it. The
I
running
know,
joke that I
seriously.
have is I tell people I never play singles in pickleball because I
No, I
did it
don't
once.
either.
I did it once, and I'm not doing it again. Thank you very much.
Well, yeah, and it's good for people like I used to row crew. I rowed at
Oh,
UCLA and I
sweet.
actually
Oh,
got
wow.
had two back surgeries from it.
Wow.
It just like killed my body.
Oh,
And
no.
tennis I play a little bit still, but it gives me some trouble sometimes with my back. But pickleball has been so great because there's no overhand serve. There's overheads, but for some reason I'm pretty, knock on wood.
Yeah.
I'm able to play at a competitive level. So and just moving around a lot, like you said, like for my broadcasting career, I've had to move every 2 to 3 years. It's hard to start over. And this is what, the friend group in North Carolina I started with, I knew them. But when I moved to Nashville, like some of my best friends here, like tomorrow night, I'm going to a concert with my pickleball friends. Like it becomes such a community, and I love that. And not only a community here in Nashville, but like literally all over the world, which is so cool.
Yeah. Anybody that you talk to that plays pickleball on a semi-regular basis, it's kind of an unwritten rule, like your instant, acquaintances or friends. I mean, it's just an easy way to have a conversation with somebody and pick that up. So
Yeah.
it's really great. I mean, I love the sport. I did step away for a while, just didn't have the opportunity to play, and then since I moved here to Gilbert, um, there's no more excuses. I mean, there's 16 courts only a mile away from where I live, so it's like,
Wow.
okay, I can't make the excuses like, oh, I got to take the kids here and there, and I'm in the business, so I got to play, and I love it. It's a fun sport.
And have been in this business for 3 years, you said. Like, how much have you seen it grow in those 3 years?
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing. I mean, we were really fortunate. It was interesting because, like you said, I started playing 8 years ago or 9 years ago, and I
Yeah.
played kind of religiously for the first year and a half, 2 years, and then my small business I had to move offices, and so I wasn't in walking distance to the court. So my previous business, I could take a break in town. I was walking out the pickleball courts, play for a couple hours. There were only two courts,
Gosh,
so
goals.
yeah, I know, right? Like, and then the funny thing is the office that we're in now. Um, about a year and a half ago, they started building something right across the street, and we're like, oh man, it looks like it's gonna be a pickleball court. It's not. It was PadL.
Ugh.
And then PadL's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of a rich man's pickleball sport, if you will. But
Yes, we just opened up a facility in Nashville, which is scary. We got a padel facility before we got a designated pickleball facility.
really,
We still have yet to have one open, which is crazy. We have
wow,
courts, obviously, like at ran like
yeah,
county or city parks, but Pickleball Kingdom, Pickler, they're coming here, but yeah, not open yet. So Padel, I think there's one or two. I know one for sure just opened, but yeah, it's like $100 an hour, I think.
yeah. I wanted to support the business that was starting up, so I'm like, I'm definitely signing up for a membership. We've seen this, and we're on the coast, so it took this group of people a year just to cut through red tape to even start digging. I felt so bad for them. And so I was like, yeah, I'll definitely get a membership, and got the membership, and, we got a deal on it. But then it was, okay, this is the hourly rate to rent. You get a reduced hourly rate. Oh, you don't have paddles? Don't worry, we'll rent them to you. And it's like, oh, wait, man, it's adding up here.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, but it's a fun sport. It's a lot of fun to play. But yeah, I love pickleball. It's just such a great opening, inviting sport, and we're definitely committed to pickleball all the way.
And I'm sure too, like you said, those partnerships, whether it's with the leagues or facilities or clubs, that must be fun for you.
Yeah, it totally is, because one of the things, again, they're in business, we're in business, and typically there's somebody that's relatively new in the business, and we're only 3 years old. So it's great to build those partnerships and see those organizations grow, and we're a small part of it.
Yeah.
Anything that we can do to help, align our values, along with those same organizations that have similar values as ours, of growing the sport that we love and participating and having fun. It's fantastic. I mean, we've been, again, it's just creativity. I mean, we're involved with the National Junior Pickleball, NJP, if you will. They just had the Nationals this weekend right now in Texas. And we were involved with the NPL, National Pickleball League.
Yep.
And we've had a few pros that we've worked with, and everybody's been really, really great to work with, and to help. And again, it's just trying to spread the word of how much fun, how easy the sport is to start playing and get into.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is so great. And obviously, you guys have been around for 3 years. What are your short-term and long-term goals? Are you planning on personalizing anything else, or do you think you'll stick on to growing the bands?
Yeah, no. So we do, we have plans right now. We've had plans for a while, but it's just wanting to really focus on pickleball. I mean, the business is doing pretty good. And we're getting a lot of good feedback, but you have opportunities and you have challenges, and it's like, where do you say, okay, let's focus on our core, let's grow this core, and then we'll go and look at other things. But we're self-funded. We bootstrap this whole thing. We haven't taken out any investments or any
It's
venture
amazing.
capitalists or anything like that. We've had a few people approach us about certain things, but nothing to fruition. It's like, hey, this is our full-time gig. We love it. We're in it all the way, and we do have plans to grow. And that's probably in the personalization category. So, we have some ideas and plans for other products within the pickleball ecosystem, if you will.
Would you ever branch out to like padel or tennis, or do you want to stick to
Yep.
pickleball?
Yeah, no, we'll definitely. I mean, because the bands fit on tennis and padel right now. So we do
Yeah.
have customers that do order for us. A lot of the European customers order for because they're not playing that much pickleball. They're playing padel.
Right.
And
Right. No,
so,
they are.
it's just but they don't really run into the same problems like we do, where, who's paddle, who's paddle. So it's a little bit
That
of a
is true.
different use case, if you will. It's really, hey, I just, want something cool. Oh, that was the other thing I forgot to mention. People will sometimes put like funny things on there. So this person has a funny name, but on the one side,
Is it? No
no
way.
way, Jose.
Jose. Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
I mean,
I
right. But
love
then other
that.
people will put like just the word breathe. So they'll put a reminder for themselves, just breathe, or baby bird. I'm like, what baby bird? Well, hold the grip. So remind me not to squeeze really hard on the grip. Just hold the grip like I'm holding a baby bird,
Interesting.
or
Wow.
move your feet. I mean, it's a lot of different use cases. So I guess that's where what I'm getting at is we want to make sure that when we go into those other markets that we're marketing the appropriate way for the right use case, and we do the market research beforehand. Because that was the thing when we first got into this, before we even bought our first piece of equipment, was we did 6 months worth of market research. And when we went out and talked to pickleball players that we didn't know already, we wanted to talk to people that didn't know, myself or Richard, we would ask them questions, and we would, give them the general concept and try to gauge what they thought was, was it worth it? How much would they be willing to pay for it? Do they see the use cases? And, we thought it was a one and done, you just buy it and that's it.
Right.
But we found that more and more people are buying them again when they get a new paddle or they want to give as gifts. So that's been like the biggest thing. I mean, this holiday season, we're expecting to, nearly double our sales from last year, which was incredible. So, this is one of the best stocking stuffers. We're in a dozen gift guides, and so you're looking for an affordable gift for this holiday season. Consider MyPadL bands for all your
Yeah.
pickleball people that love pickleball.
I was gonna say that is the perfect gift for like a family or like a sports team or a camp, like just something that you can buy in bulk that, like you said, is not expensive and but adds a personalized touch to the game.
Yeah, I mean that's what we tell people is like they don't have to be the same. No, they can all be completely different colors, say different things, different fonts, different emojis, everything. So we'll have some groups that are not an official league or a club, but they'll call themselves like the first one that comes to mind is the group of ladies that call themselves the Shady Ladies. And so it's cool, and they're awesome. There's also what was the other group? The beer ladies. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you'll have these groups of folks that we have some more people that are joining our group, so we decided to get them bands because they're so cool, and so again, it's just a nice little gift to give people.
That's amazing. And just one more time before I let you go, how, if I want to buy something, if someone else wants to buy something, buy in bulk for the holidays, like you said, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, so the easiest way is, again, we're on Amazon and Etsy, but it's just to go to mypaddle.com, and that's mypadl.com. There's no promo codes. It's all automatic at checkout. You go onto the website and you make it yours. There you can choose one of the 15 colors, and then you put in your customization and font type. You can select that. It'll show you a preview of what the bands will look like. We have a character limit on the one side and another character limit on the other side. And then you can go ahead and add that to your cart. And then there's another button to click back to add your second one, to do your third customization, your fourth one. And once you have a quantity of 4 or more in your basket, you'll get the 50% discount right then and there.
Wow.
And then even for clubs, we offer a bigger discount if they purchase 100 or more. We offer
Awesome.
a larger discount. So right now at 4 or more, it's only $6 per band. No two need to be alike. And then you get free shipping in the U.S. if you add 2 more. So essentially buy 6 for the same price as 3, and you get free shipping in the U.S.
Yeah,
And no
there
two
you
needs
go.
to be
That's a
like that.
win-win.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's like a no-brainer.
I know. Now I'm like, I need to get one for my paddle. I love it.
Not only your paddle, but your friends, your buddies,
Yeah,
your pals.
literally. You might
You
as
know,
well buy 6, like you said. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and again, no two need to be alike. And we make them right here in the U.S. We do all the manufacturing, all the finish work, the engraving, the painting, the testing here in the U.S. So it's made with U.S. and foreign parts. So we make it in Oceanside, California, and we ship it out each week out of Oceanside.
Awesome. Well, Sam, thank you so much for coming on. Go check them out, mypaddle.com. Excited to see all the new personalized bands, and stay tuned to see who will join us in the kitchen next time.